Good to see you. Thank you. Please rise in body and/or spirit for our opening song, One More Step.
Oh, that's a good one.
We believe in freedom of choice, so if you want to stand, stand. Just don't block the person behind you. Anyway, good morning. My name is Reverend J. Wolin, and I am the settled minister here at the Unitarian Universalist of Sarasota. We want to extend a warm welcome to our visitors who are on campus, as well as live stream over YouTube, or even if you're watching this a week from now, I'm time traveling and welcoming you as well. We invite our visitors to participate in any events, not in the past, obviously, but any current and future events. And we welcome visitors to find out more about our congregation and Unitarian Universalism by registering as on our virtual guest book, which you can find via a link on the homepage of our website, uusrq.org. If you're in person, of course, there is a sign-up sheet as well right outside at the welcome table. And if you do so, if you sign up, you will get our weekly newsletter and some Zoom links to our virtual events. We invite you weekly. We have coffee and conversations after service. Today is second Sunday potluck, and you are all invited to join us right after the service. Even whether you've brought food or not, please, you are our guests. We look forward to getting to know each other. Our special announcement today is that the Unitarian Universalist Association General Assembly begins this Sunday, today actually, at 4 p.m. We are a community gathering location for General Assembly events starting this upcoming Friday, all day Saturday and Sunday afternoon, June 19th to 21st. Check our website for more details. And now, without further ado, and you, our choir.
One, two, here we go. Well, I'm gonna tell you fascists, you might be surprised. People of this world are getting organized. You're bound to lose, you fascists, bound to lose.
you fascists, let me tell you straight. When you come for the rest of us, we'll fight you at the gate, and you will lose, you fascists bound to lose.
Is right. Our opening reading is entitled Welcome. We all journey through life, some journey from nearby places, others far from home. Some are born Unitarian Universalists, others are exiles of their religion of birth, yet others are new seekers, seeking religious community for the first time. Some journeys have a straight trajectory. Other journeys pass through many hills and valleys. Some journeys have strong foundations and support. Other journeys are forced to travel over many broken bridges and roads. Yet all our journeys in life have brought us together here today. Let our journeys together bring comfort and support to each other. Let our journeys together bring a challenge to widen the lens of our experience. Let our journeys together bring an inspiration to seek more love and to be more loving. As we light our chalice, let its flame be a symbol that lights our way on our journeys, both internal and external. So as we light the chalice, please join me now in affirming the mission and vision of the Unitarian Universalists of Sarasota. Connecting in loving community to nurture the spirit and help heal our world. We aspire a multicultural community known for advancing justice, where all persons can find belonging, spiritual growth, and support on life's journey.
Good morning. That first number has got my blood pumping. Thank you. Today's story is You Are Here, written and illustrated by Zach Manbeck. You are here. One more. There we go. And you are from here. You can go anywhere. But how will you find your way? Begin. Everyone begins differently. So whether you walk or skip, dance or sit, be your own kind of brave. Explore. Wander in every direction. Take your time. Some will be far ahead of you, and others will be miles behind you, but be thankful for who's right beside you. Fall down, slip, trip, and scrape your knees, and then keep going. Look with curious eyes. See with an adventurous heart. Be patient. You'll find your way if you let it find you. And remember, you are on your way in your own way. And today, you are here, exactly where you are meant to be. So, wherever your journey takes you, today you are here, exactly where you are meant to be. And we're grateful that you're here sharing your journey with us. Each experience you have had, good and bad, shaped you into the person you are today. And today's story may shape you into the person you will be. Just don't be afraid to experience. Life is an adventure. Go get some. And on that note, I invite all who wish to enjoy a beautiful Gulf breeze and fellowship to journey to South Lido Key Park for our annual beach picnic after the service. And for those who don't like sand between their toes, we're holding our monthly potluck here on campus. So whichever venue you choose to come and have fellowship, all the conversation will be great. And if you are a child or are childlike, I invite you now to join me in the West Wing for some summer fun. Thank you.
So as we gather for centering words, it's with a heavy heart that I have to announce we've had 3 members, friends, who have died just recently. Vern Mayer, who was Rhoda Taylor's partner for a long time, Larry Bachstaller, and Gary Stacy, all this just recently have died. So let us keep them and their families and their friends in our hearts as we contemplate our lives. And I think Broken Bridges is a name of the writing I wrote today. And I think it's an important concept that life is not a straight line, and it breaks, and we still have to keep going. Crossing broken bridges through hills and valleys I travail. No matter how long or short, I know the end of the journey. Yet on the way, the how, the where, and when, and with whom are mysteries I pursue. Hope, forgiveness, and resilience are my partners on this trail. I wish it could be easier, but it is easier with each other. So let us meet on that road where love and justice are found, with all of who we are and with everything we have, with our joys and sorrows, dealing with distractions and obstacles to overcome, so that we may know we have done all we could to fulfill our purpose before we lie down in that field to rest our weary soul when we will finally know the truth. As we go into a time of silence, I invite you to contemplate how your journey has led you here today and where it may lead going forward. So every healthy organization asks itself the same question: who are we becoming? So every year, our board gathers on retreat to wrestle with that question. not because we hope to control the future, but because we want to be intentional about creating it. Now, I know what you're thinking. Retreat. I want to join the board. Well, if you do, you please feel free to let the nominating committee know, but to be totally transparent, we're not talking about a treat to some Caribbean island or anything like that. Just a time set aside to focus and brainstorm our focus for the upcoming year. And, a free couple of meals that day. So, the book of Proverbs, chapter 29 states, and I quote, "For a lack of vision, the people cast off restraint," end quote. So I always like to think about that. The opposite of vision is not freedom, right? We can cast off all restraint and everybody does whatever they want, right? The opposite of vision is often drift, right? Our strategic goals are not meant to restrain us. They are just to help leadership focus on what we think is most important in the upcoming year to fulfill the mission and vision of this congregation. And that does not mean we will not continue have all the other programs or other new programs, but it means this is the focus that leadership is working on. And so I want to share those with you today. Goal number 1, strengthen congregational vitality and sustainability through growth in membership, engagement, and financial support. And this includes recognizing in multiple ways that in February 2027 will be the 75th anniversary of this congregation's founding. I think I don't know why every 25 years that's a big thing, but it is, and we should be proud that we've lasted and we've grown, and we should recognize that. So, if you're interested in history or want to learn more about our congregation's history and would like to be part of the 75th anniversary ad hoc committee, please let me know. You get to plan celebrations and things like that as well, too. So please let me, a staff member or a board member, know. So why grow? Why is that one of our goals? Well, one reason we need to grow is we have become more aware over the years and more acutely aware recently of the role and the need for a liberal religious voice in the public square to help shape and support the community, the larger community, with our values. Many of the newer members have told me they were attracted by our work on justice as a congregation. As well, others often share that they were in search for a community of compassion and care. So a combination, again, of inner needs and connecting to the larger community. I want to be clear, it's not growth for growth's sake. It is growth so more people can find meaning. It's growth so more people can discover community. It's growth so more people can know that they are not alone. I hear that all the time. People feel disconnected. And here we provide an opportunity for connection. It is growth as well, so that our values can have a larger impact in the world. Now, I want to point out within that goal is growth in engagement, which includes engaging all of you who are already here, to give you opportunities to grow personally, to grow from learning from others, and for you to help others grow by learning from you. Since I arrived in 2022, after the isolation of the COVID years, we have added 261 members. We currently stand at approximately 550 active congregants. I want you to think about that. Approximately 40% of our membership is new over the last 4 years. While other congregations are contracting, we are growing. Not just in numbers, but also in programming, in meaning making, in functionality. Now, longtime members know how much both this congregation and the larger community have changed, and we must continue adapting to ongoing change, because that is what Unitarian Universalists do. We do not get stuck in 2,000-year-old ideas. We adapt to the world as it is and how we want it to be. So, and making that vision a reality. So board goal number 2 is to oversee a multicultural and multi-generational transformation initiative. This has been and will continue to be an ongoing project, and probably not completed till long after we are all gone. But we must do our part to keep building towards it. This second goal is directly rooted in our vision. And in my second reflection, I will delve deeper into that goal. And board goal number 3, strengthen congregational action in support of democracy. And this is already in the works. I want to be clear, we will continue to work on our other social justice projects, but I think all our justice work is dependent on the United States having a vibrant democracy. You know, those who came to that movie Bad Faith that the Democracy Action Team showed last week understand just how precarious it is. That song that we sang this morning, to defeat those fascists is going to require all of us to work against fascism and to work for democracy. Our value of justice, of UU value of justice, clearly states that the use of inclusive democratic processes is directly connected to becoming a diverse, multicultural, beloved community where all thrive. And that is what these fascists fear. They fear that there will be people other than straight white men in power. They fear a diverse community where people actually care about each other. And we need to model that and show them and show everyone that that is not only possible, but helps us as human beings thrive. And we need all of you in whatever way you can to participate in helping this congregation thrive, which will in turn help you thrive. For some, it might just be saying hello to visitors every Sunday morning during coffee hour. You know, I know there's someone here who can't physically make it every Sunday here, but they send out birthday cards to every member. We can each do something to improve. And, you know, we have so many people working on our justice things, and we go out and march, and we show up at meetings, and we show up at rallies, and we have to continue to do all of it, because I can tell you the fascists are not stopping, and so neither can we. But we can all do something to improve, to connect, to support fulfilling the mission and vision of the Unitarian Universalists of Sarasota. We support this congregation with our presence, with our participation, with our compassion, and yes, with our financial gifts. So please be as generous as you can as we take our morning offering. For those online, there's a link to donate in the YouTube video. And for those here who want to pay electronically, there's a QR code in your order of service and on the screen behind me. Let this sacred time begin.
This song, Wayfaring Stranger, has strong echoes of Appalachian music, spirituals, migration. So today we're not singing it as a statement of doctrine or anything like that, but really just as a human song about traveling through this uncertain world.
dark clouds will gather around me. I know my way is rough and steep, but golden fields lie out before me, where weary eyes no more shall weep. I'm going there to see my Father. I'm going there no more to roam. I'm only going over Jordan. I'm only going over home. I'm only going over home. I'm only going over home.
Bravo.
Thank you.
Our next reading is an excerpt from the Reverend Dr. Brock Leach's Doctoral Thesis. In the end, it is only by claiming our common human values and bringing forth our diverse perspectives and talents that humanity has been able to improve the quality of life. And history suggests that despite our fear-based predilection to war, violence, and oppression, we have managed to steadily rise above it over the centuries to improve the human condition for more of us. The next chapter in that epic is learning how to find purpose, meaning, and joy together on this small, crowded, virtually connected planet. Not by tolerating our cultural differences at arm's length, but by fully embracing our diverse cultural assets in all their richness and doing it purposefully, up close and personally in our daily lives. And now, once more, the choir.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine all the time, let it shine.
1, 2, 1.
Hallelujah.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine all the time. Let it shine.
Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine.
Thank you, choir and friends. Longtime member and community minister for this congregation, Reverend Doctor, I have to remember he was a doctor too, Reverend Dr. Brock Leach. Not the kind that can give you a prescription, but you know what I mean. Passed away recently. I first met Brock when I succeeded him as the intern at the Unitarian Universalist Church of Tampa in 2010. And we kept in touch over the years, and I was so grateful to serve alongside him here in Sarasota. The Leach family have been members here for a long time as members, lay leaders, and social justice activists of Unitarian Universalists of Sarasota. Over the course of Brock's 20-year Unitarian Universalist ministry, he had specifically focused on creating new forms of Unitarian Universalist community that meet the differing needs of people who have not always found their spiritual home here. He had worked to create support for the Spiritual Innovators Network and created the UU Religious Innovators Network, and was instrumental in assembling the UUA's New Communities Fund and the associated portfolio of programming designed to help innovators develop and introduce their ideas to the world. And in line with this, and prior to his death, Brock and his wife Julie created the Conspirit Foundation to help this congregation continue on our journey of multiculturalism. And I'm going to quote from the grant. It says, "The fund's aim is to help and sustain ongoing creative work by providing inspiration, funding for experimentation, and helping to bring to life the most promising new ideas by donating a total of $250,000 over the next 3 fiscal years to create programming that will fill unmet spiritual and religious needs of members here or others in the larger community." End quote. Now, this vision of what the congregants' needs are and what programming is needed to fill the needs of the congregants and the community will involve ongoing discernment throughout the year and years. And we encourage you, all of you, to explore with us so that we may see as clearly as possible the path to that horizon that we are heading for. That beloved community where all are loved and welcomed for who they are in all of their wholeness, wherever they are on their religious and spiritual journey. So to hear as many ideas as possible, we invite anyone to come this upcoming Saturday, June 20th, from 9 to 12 in the Lexar room, as we brainstorm ideas of what programs we could create with these funds. We do ask that you RSVP to the office so we know we have enough food and enough handouts to go around. And as well, it's not just going to be this one Saturday, but this is going to be the kickoff. So as you have more ideas going forward, as you think about it, as it sort of stews in your brain, as you talk to your friends in the community and hear from them what they are looking for, what kind of programming they are looking for. It's always an open door. So what does it mean to be a multi-generational and multicultural congregation? Brock understood multiculturalism quite broadly. It includes race and ethnicity, but also age, gender identity, sexual orientation, nationality, and the many, many ways that culture shapes our lives. I can tell you, as a person who grew up in the Bronx, when I went out to Iowa, it was a very different culture, how people talk to each other. And so, I mean, that's a very simple, subtle difference. There are obviously more obvious ones, but there are many different ways. You don't understand what how and why and what people need until you really sit down and get to know them deeply. Because no one could understand what my experience was growing up in the Bronx, just as I could not understand what it was like to grow up on a farm and have to wake up at 5 in the morning to milk cows. It was like an alien terrain. And I think that's true of all differences in cultures, whether it's music or upbringing or the millions of other differences that we have. And we learn from getting to know each other and sharing, and we will grow from those different experiences of widening the lens of our understanding. I've often said, because we specifically mentioned multi-generational in our vision, because we wanted to focus as that. But I've always said it is multi-generational, is multicultural. And I often, and I'll say it again, I've said it before, we do not need young people because they are the future of the congregation. We need them because they are the present of the congregation. They have spiritual needs as much, if not more so, than anyone else. And we have much to learn from them, and they have much to learn from us. We learn from each other. Both our mission and vision speak to spirituality, nurturing the spirit, it says, and a place where people can find spiritual growth. So what do I mean by spirituality, and what does spiritual growth have to do with multiculturalism? Well, after talking to many members of the last 4 years, I can clearly say there are a lot of different opinions about what that means. So for some, it is a mystical sense of spirits at work in the world. For others, it echoes the song we sing weekly, right? Spirit of life, asking the Spirit to come to us. Though I would argue it's already in us, around us, and a part of all things, stirring our compassion, giving life the shape of justice, right? For me, simply put, spirit is whatever animates us as human beings. Brock's thesis states, and I quote, "A spiritually vital congregation will ensure that every person, no matter who they are or where they come from, one, feels they belong and are supported on life's journey, finds their own purpose and meaning in connection with others, feels seen, heard, and valued, and has the opportunity to lead and grow." And so how do we do this as a non-creedal religion when many people have very different theological ideas, let alone cannot agree on what the word spirit is, or even if it even exists? By covenant, that's how we do it. By agreeing to walk with each other on the journey, and not just tolerating people's different ideas, but welcoming them and accepting them. A couple of years ago, Paula Cole-Jones visited from Washington, D.C. She's a consultant on multiculturalism, and she offered a workshop on this, and she led a service. She promotes the concept of a community of communities. In a congregation our size, it is critical and allows for this concept. Right, within the larger UU of Sarasota community, we have many communities so we can be known more deeply. Whether it is small groups, choir, justice teams, the forum, right? They're a tight-knit group, right? Mahjong, grounds. I would say the spirituality of Mahjong, I don't know what that is, but people get very, very deep meaning from it. They do. They're committed to that. Grounds, arts council, many. I don't have all day to go through the whole list of programs that we have here. But the point is that each person finds connections with others. Our goal is to help people find meaning in ways that are meaningful to them, right? Not just what we dictate is meaningful. in ways that are meaningful to them. A multicultural congregation is not a congregation where everybody becomes the same. It is a congregation where many communities, many cultures find a home within a larger community, and we learn to value the differences in culture among us. Now, our hope with this grant is to experiment in creating new programs that might be meaningful to groups of people who have not yet found that connection here yet, or people who are already here and have not found connection to be able to. Experimentation will require trying things that may not be comfortable for some of us. Every meaningful innovation creates discomfort. Not because it is wrong, but because it is new, right? In my first year of ministry here, I made a few major changes to worship, right? We included words for all ages every service. We expanded our range of musical offerings. We went from one long sermon to 2 reflections. All of these represent cultural shifts for the congregation. And some members, understandably, felt uncomfortable with those changes at first. I mean, I know there can be a sense of loss when familiar patterns change, yet many of those changes have become an accepted and valued part of our worship now. So I encourage you to remember that as we experiment with new programs. I ask you to remember that these efforts may provide meaning, connection, and spiritual growth for people whose needs are not currently being met. It's not always about what is meaningful to us individually. It is also about what helps us become a more multicultural, multi-generational, beloved community. At its heart, all this work comes down to paying attention to who is here, to paying attention to who is not here, paying attention to those whose needs are being met and whose needs we may be overlooking. Recently, I was reminded of just how easy it is to miss what is right in front of us. I was walking down the street, and I saw a parent and a child were walking in front of me. The child, I'm going to guess, was about 3 years old, was walking on a ledge, which was maybe 3 feet off the ground, next to her parent, and was just joyful, just like skipping on the ledge. I got very worried. As they got to the end of the ledge, though, I saw the child stop and stick out their hand, right, for the parent to help them down off the ledge. The parent's head was down in their cell phone and didn't even notice. And I'd like to imagine, they got a text that somebody was in the hospital, and, who knows? But I always like to imagine the best about that. But after about 5 seconds, after realizing the parent didn't see their request, the child shrugged their shoulders and just jumped and was fine and continued by the side of their parent. I don't know why, but I was just fascinated by this, to watch this little scenario happening live action in front of me. It was very just sweet and sad and poignant all at the same time, like watching a short film, but in real life. But it was the shrug that got to me. Right? The child reached out, was not met, and jumped away. I want to point out that all of us, are both the parent and the child in that story. Right? There are moments when we need help and no one notices. There are moments when someone reaches towards us and we fail to see them. So let us remember to be intentional in looking for ways that we can help others. When we fail, and we will fail, it doesn't mean we cannot help the next time or help the next person. We will experiment, we will learn, and we will adapt. Failure will happen. That's why we call them experiments, right? A multicultural, beloved community is built when we not only become more attentive to one another's needs, but when we welcome others' ways of being as well. And Brock understood that. And the Conspirit Fund is an invitation to expand that work. So let us be courageous enough to try new things. Let us be compassionate enough to learn from our mistakes. And let us be visionary enough to imagine a congregation where every person feels seen, heard, valued, and loved. Let us jump into that future together. May it be so. Please rise in body and/or spirit for our closing hymn, Building a New Way. Feel free to sing and dance or whatever you like. From Soul Matters, a blessing for beginnings even when the path ahead is unclear, for the courage it takes to trust that the way will reveal itself, that the light will come to clarify our vision, and that friends will be by our side. Please join me now in extinguishing our chalice. The words are up on the screen. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Thank you all for your presence here today. Go forth, love all, forgive all, be good. Thank you.